rap-ish. I ain't even broke a sweat, homie, this practice. Pondering my next move, staring at my track list. Hope I ain't missing my window. Praying like a Baptist, Seattle's own. Tired of this Game of Thrones. They made a list of the best rappers, and guess who wasn't on? While the disrespect continues, I'm steady packing these venues. Guess if you ain't at the table, you on the menu. And I'm that spitter, baby. They don't want you to see, but everybody's out to Capitol Hill's rocking with me. Boys smoke the trays and plan to getting their life together. I'm comfortable with my role, so I'm like, whatever. I ain't got a job, but I work hard. And you don't work hard, but you got a job. The irony is I'm judged while you feel the applause. I'm slept on, that's why I had to set this alarm. My dudes is armed, I'm armed with this arm charm. Body banging like she got that cream from Barry Bonds. Yeah.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
That Dre season is here, a real hitter with a mic, I'm everything that they fear. With that hood ain't the same, I was all on their ass, I'm level-headed. So yo, my dudes love when I spaz, and I'm so over Seattle's passive-aggressive attitude. They don't call you back, what they really saying is F you. While I'm from the same place, I move at a different pace. I prefer if you just said it to my face, damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Average dudes with they average spit, writing average rhymes, knocking average chicks. The closer I get, I can feel the people starting to shift. I'm loyal to a fault, and everybody can't come with. Rap's a rich man's game, I'm only playing with change. They bang models and singers, I'm knocking my old flame, I'm different. The crowd, I move with the chosen few. Black thoughts, I could be the front man for the roots. No diamonds and gold, I'm on my sticks and stones. If we can see your panty line, you should have on a thong. My team is strong, through this fire we forged a bond. And they already know what it is when I get on. To the hearse, party like it's December 31st. When I'm on my deathbed, I'll probably crack in my nurse. You ain't got the bars to compete, I'm a verbal athlete. Deflating these boys so they say that I cheat. Damn, I did it.
I did it for the city, I did it for the love, I did it for the people, I did it for us.
Yeah. I should probably start by apologizing for the long wait, man. You know, I know I be tripping. But I'm not just a rapper, I'm an artist. And, you know, my creative process is a little bit different than most. Nonetheless, I want to welcome everybody out to the Dre's Experience. I got TCF in the building, my whole camp's here with me. I got the band in here laying this cool-ass vibe. And I'm Seattle's own. Let's get into it.
Welcome, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your host, Trey Holiday, and we just want to welcome you to another thorough Thursday. Got a really funny morning musing for you this morning. I mean, it's upsetting as grammar changes and all this, the culture changes. They snip our words to mean other things. So, I mean, I keep wanting to say Thirsty Thursday, but I can't do that because now thirsty has a whole nother connotation. I don't know that that's fair. I don't know. Let us know what you feel in the comments. But anyway, welcome everybody to the Morning Update Show. Want to just thank you for watching and supporting us right here at Converge Media. We're going to get right into it. We have a great show today. I get to tap in with my girl, Jessie from Clapback Culture. And later on in the show, we got the director in the building, Mr. Chappelle himself with DEEL. We're going to be diving into a new preschool program through Seattle, and excited to hear about all the things going on at DEEL. So thank you again for joining us. Got to give a big shout out to our partners over at the South Seattle Emerald and KBCS 91.3 over at Bellevue College. Also, of course, right now is the perfect time for you guys to tag and share the stream. Tag and share the stream with people that you feel could benefit from culturally relevant news emanating from right here in the Emerald City. If you're not able to watch us on our platforms, you can definitely listen to us. We are on all of the platforms where you can find podcasts. Salman is putting SoundCloud right there in the links, but you guys can also look us up on Spotify, on Google Music, Apple. I mean, anywhere that you find podcasts, you guys can also listen to the Morning Update Show. you guys, we keep this message alive because, we do have some new rules throughout our state around mask mandates, but COVID is still alive and well. If you are looking for information, if you're looking for vaccine resources, if you're looking for testing resources, booster resources, hereforuswa.org has produced some culturally relevant communication around all things COVID. We've been talking about folks that are hesitant and really having space and grace for them. It's still a thing, and we understand with all of these new changes, it really can bring about more questions. And so if you haven't already checked out this website, go to hereforuswa.org and see all of these resources that they've compiled together, and doing it in a culturally responsive way, really saying, look, we need to talk to the Black community and do something that is for them. And so I love that they had this really unique approach about it. Thank you to the Department of Health for doing that work. We love this because our friends over there at For Culture are always doing something amazing for our artists in this area. If you know of anybody who could benefit from one of the grants they have right now around arts and preservation, they are doing some great work there over at For Culture always. And I love that they know, look, we need to make sure that Converge knows about what's going on so we can share it with all of you out there. Again, they do a lot of great work to help with the application process. We don't want people to be burdened down by application fatigue, as T-Dub would say. And so they definitely are being more helpful than other processes because they understood. It's like, when you listen to your community and you provide these kinds of resources, you find a way to do it that is listening to them and embedding all that you're learning into the process. So shout out to For Culture for doing that. Also, you guys, this is really exciting. Seattle College's foundation, all right, they have a scholarship fund right now, $4,000 for young scholars. And yes, you can buy food, right? So there's so much more information right there. Saman, again, is putting the link in the comments so you guys can check out those links. Find out if you qualify, if you're a young student out there who is looking for some help. I mean, honestly, I've been saying it, but $4,000 can go a long way for our in-state colleges. And if Seattle College's foundation, they understood this. They are taking up the call to provide these resources to our scholars. Again, college is at any age. If you need to go back, if you were trying to get retrained, we've seen a lot of that with COVID as well, where it really impacted certain industries. And so it required people to go back and get some new skills. And so look into that application process, see if you qualify, share it out with people so that, we can make sure that this money is hitting those that need it. You guys, this is really exciting. This whole week, for those of you who have been watching, thank you so much. We're getting so much great response about Black Love When We Met. And last night, my girl Amanda was on with now her fiance, Tarek. You guys, she said yes. Thank you guys so much for being with me, for expressing your love, and for you guys all for coming to witness their love.
Is that the end?
Well, you know what? Yeah, I want to thank you guys for.
Oh, hold on. No, you can't let you end it that way. I'm gonna let you finish, Trey, but let me have my Kanye moment. Beyonce had the best video. Just kidding. But I wanted to give you a gift. I know you saw some flowers over there, so you had to think something was fishy.
Everybody got flowers.
Everybody got flowers.
Okay, so it's not no different. But no. I wanted to give you my heart, and then I wanted to ask you if you would do the cha-cha slide with me, or if you would do the electric slide with me. What? Or if you would do the Cupid shuffle with me.
I will do them all with you. What is?
But I got a question.
What?
Just so you know, everybody can see that. It's my little black heart. It's my little black heart right there. What did Rob Bass say to the bass head? You might remember that song? It takes two to make a thing go right.
Oh my God.
Hold this. He said, I want to rock right now.
Oh!
I want to rock right now. So, baby, don't fall. Oh. Will you marry me? Will you marry me, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah, let me put this on you. And just by the way, big shout out to Fred Bennett Sr., who got my ring all together. So I had to find my black jeweler to make my black ring. So here you go, babe.
Sure? Oh my God.
I don't want to drop it now.
Oh my, look at you.
Oh my God.
I said yes. I said yes. I said yes. A lot of
For them. Oh my God. I'm about to fall out of my chair right now. I can't even. I can't even. Oh my God.
all the things.
It's all the. Oh my gosh, Amanda. Sorry, you guys. Look, that's what happens when you're doing live TV. That's what.
Put that right here.
You guys.
That's how you do it, folks.
Oh my God. Congratulations now. Okay, wait a minute. To the newly engaged.
So you can walk around and be like, I was married now. I was married now.
Oh my gosh. To the newly engaged Tarek and Amanda. You guys just ended this show. I don't even know. I'm about to drop the mic. You just made me drop the mic this week, okay? Drop the mic indeed. It was such an elated moment here in the studio. And I got to give a big shout out to our partners for Black Love When We Met, the State Hotel. They're going to be providing one free night stay for these couples. I mean, we really curated a date night. Also, big shout out to Alvin Ailey for providing tickets for our couples to come and see the show. And of course, our guy G Prez with Presidential Transportation for getting them to and from in style. So thankful to all of you guys for pouring into these couples. And you know what? I'm over here teary-eyed again, all over again, because that moment was so special and unique. And you guys, I'm telling you, I'm getting so much positive feedback from this show right here. And, you know, we had Blaze and Danica, you know, sharing that they are carrying a child. We have now an engagement on the books. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss out on Black Love When We Met. Tonight, I get to sit down with Latrice and Kenny and hear all about their love stories, starting as lovebirds from high school and going through their own trials and getting back together. I mean, I can't wait to dive into their story later on tonight. So check that out right here where you're watching the Morning Update show and all of our platforms on Converge Media. Black Love When We Met at 8 p.m. What a great night it was, right, Salman? Hey, you know, and then there were so many people in here who were just not even prepared, didn't know it was going to happen. Got to give a shout out to my guy Proof in the play, who's been taking our photos, and he kept talking about how his hands were shaking. He was trying to take photos for them. It was an amazing moment for all of us. Thank you guys, Tarek and Amanda, for sharing that moment with us. You know, I get to kind of dive in because, you know, when Jules comes on, it's a whole nother thing. And so after this short break, Jessie, our very own Julia Jessie with Clapback Culture, we're going to be diving into all things clapback this week. You guys stay tuned. You're watching the Morning Update show. Hey there, it's Trey Holiday. And of course, Besa and I had to take a trip back to Market Street Shoes to grab some items. They always know what to show us. And let me tell you, we both spent quality time to be sure we collected some amazing additions to our wardrobes. They have some of the most unique bags, shoes, and accessories. I mean, the whole shebang. It's always a good time when I get to shop with my girl Besa. Make sure you go check out Market Street Shoes, y'all, and you too can walk out with some dope gear.
When the pandemic hit, it did affect me. As a barber, I had my own personal reasons why I didn't get vaccinated. At the time, I didn't check the actual source. I thought the vaccine was developed too fast, but I was talking to a doctor and he was telling me more about the vaccine and what it can do to protect us and our family. I wanted to get back to that once was, right? I do feel safe knowing that I am vaccinated. I just hope what I'm saying is reaching into people's heads to know that this is the best decision for all of us.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your host, Trey Holiday, for the day. And of course, I love this moment when I get to dive in with my girl, Julia Jessie. What's up, Jules?
Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, what's up, boo? How are you?
I'm good. I'm backstage just like having a little moment looking at Tarek and Amanda. And I'm like, oh, I love, but Black love. I mean, I can't wait for Friday's episode to see who is it, Aaron and Quinn. So I am just really excited. I love watching these. I didn't know there was a proposal. I've been taking a break from social media, and so I didn't see the post on Converge's Instagram, but I love. It's just so sweet.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, it has been like no other, Jules. And it's so funny because you know how it is. You plan something. I had this idea kind of in my head, like, oh, this would be so dope. And I know so many dope Black couples. And, really it's about producing something that is really countering this dominant narrative for some odd reason of, broken Black families and single family homes and just, this kind of struggle with Black love. And I'm like, oh, no. We have a lot of it right here in this city, throughout this state. I want to be able to highlight it. So I'm so excited. I mean, now we're getting requests in, Jules. Like, people are like, hold on, like, I need to be on, and it's a beautiful thing because I just originally thought, let's do it as a week pilot. Let's see how it goes. So we may have to find a good time slot for it and keep it coming because now people are like looking for it. And I love it. My girl says, look, it's just every episode is giving me the warms and fuzzies. And I'm like, that's it right there. And we feel that right here in the studio. So I'm so glad that you've been able to tap in, Jules. We all gotta love some Black love. I'm telling you.
Got to. And unfortunately, when I talk to you guys about my clapback topic today, it's about Black love, but broken Black love. Okay.
Oh, there it is, man. Get into it, man. You guys are, we heard a little bit from Mike Davis yesterday, but he was even saying there's so many topics. You guys still got to figure out which ones you're going to narrow in on. There's so much going on right now. Jules, break it down for us.
All right, y'all. So we have a wealth of information to come to you guys tonight on clapback culture. But one thing that's standing in firm is definitely going to be the drama that is Kanye West and former wife Kim Kardashian. So let's just get into the details. So Instagram, and shout out to Meta for finally stepping in and doing something, because I've been talking about this on the show for several weeks, that Kanye West needs to be banned from social media. So Instagram implemented the suspension, and he is suspended for 24 hours for violating their policy after he posted a racial slur directed at Daily Show host Trevor Noah. And we know how funny Trevor Noah really is, but he was highlighting, just the abuse and the harassment that Kanye West has been demonstrating online towards Kim Kardashian and her current boo thing, Pete Davidson, who is the SNL comedian. Long and the short, you guys, because there's so much going on here, Kanye West has been posting videos, rants after rants, and divulging personal family information. Over the weekend, he did another rant, and he was upset about Kim Kardashian's decision to allow their eldest daughter, North, to be on TikTok. But it's the hypocrisy for me, because how are you worried about your daughter being consumed with negative and offensive comments and just images on social media? But that's what you're doing, Kanye West. You are the guy that is constantly threatening people. You're the same guy who created a music video about your ex-wife's current boyfriend to be murdered, beheaded, and buried. That's all over and viral on TikTok. So when you talk about the pot calling the kettle black, Kanye West, that is you. And so again, this is the same guy that for weeks has been leaking personal information, where Kim Kardashian had to increase her security for her family, for death threats around her current boyfriend. And also the same guy who threatened D.L. Hughley for commenting on the custody battle. So Kanye West, this has nothing to do with you wanting to have some type of authority over your kids. We love Black fathers. We support Black fathers. But this right here is not the same thing. So me, Trey Holiday, I'm very happy to see that Instagram, i.e. Meta, has finally stepped in and stopped Kanye West from having a platform to bully, harass, and really just abuse Kim Kardashian, because this is a terrible thing that's happening. Had it been anybody else, this is what happens to a lot of women who decide to leave the relationship. And so I'm glad that Meta stepped in, if not for nothing, for 24 hours.
Well, this is really interesting because I mean, we've been seeing this. It's crazy how these celebrity relationships play out right before our very eyes, right? You see the makeups, the breakups, you see people getting together, marriages, divorces. We get to see all of that, but there's always some level of protection in terms of their intimate details. And if he's using platforms to like explode on those things, I can understand all of this. Plus, you know, it's one of those things where I'm wondering, does he even think about his own credibility and his own reputation, and how all of this now is probably very damaging to, you know, those who have like upheld Kanye, thought he was a dope MC, thought he was dope at music producing, but now that stuff begins to get tainted because of how you're moving. And so I'm glad you guys are going to be diving into that, because I think, like you said, there's a lot of nuances, and I don't follow a lot of social media stuff. So you're really giving me a lot of the tea right now with regard to what's going on. Man, what else is happening? What else you guys might be diving into tonight?
Oh gosh, Trey, there's just so much. Of course, we're going to continue to dive deep into that. We're going to talk about Texas' new abortion law that would allow for the death penalty. Come on, that's just a hot mess. Pfizer saying that we might need a fourth dose. You know, we got to throw some COVID in there for you guys. And last but not least, Netflix. You guys, they're trying to add a fee for sharing your password to folks outside your household. And let me tell you something. I ain't paying for Netflix. If my brother lets me be on the Netflix account, it don't matter if we in the same household. We family. You know what I'm saying? So Netflix, we're coming after you with some clapback for sure.
Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Not Netflix. Okay. This is the thing. These platforms are already making so much money. So much money. It is ridiculous, right? So there's no need for them to now add fees on and to make it uncomfortable for those of us who have gotten very comfortable with the way their platform is right now. I mean, is it about, and then I think, okay, how much data are you utilizing to identify that certain people are not in the same households? Are you looking at people's IP addresses? Like, what are you really doing here now to try to identify all of that and see if they're on the same Wi-Fi network? I'm just like, what kind of tools are you using behind the scenes to try to implement something like this? And how is it coming into our personal data and our personal lives? This is why, Jules, I've been saying it before, but this is why we need to be reading those terms and conditions, my friend, because it is real. We sign up for all these things, these pages and pages of terms and conditions, right? Then you got a whole other system for their policies. And we're just like, click, yeah, accept, because we just need to get on the platform. We just want to utilize the tool. And so this right here has me a little bit wondering about what's going on. I'm going to tell you right now. But, you know, Mike yesterday, he was dropping it hard about this metaverse stuff. And let me tell you, Jules, I am still trying to wrap my head around a digitized world, my friend. Now, he dove in a lot yesterday, but I'm just hoping that you guys can breach it, because I think it does need to be talked about right now. We need to understand it. I've been seeing this growth about NFTs, right? And I'm like, I don't even know what that is exactly, but people are like, oh, it's like artwork that you can have in the digitverse, in the metaverse. And I'm just like a hologram. Yeah, help me understand some of this, Jules.
It's, you know, it's not as complicated as you think, but this thing is going to happen. It's already happening. And you are seeing an influx of celebrities and just people, rich people creating these NFTs so that when the metaverse really expands, and allows us to kind of be in this digital world, we're going to be creating these digital environments. And in that digital environment, you'll be able to come view my NFT, right? And so if I have this one particular NFT, then you'll be able to like see and view that. But in addition, Trey, we're looking at stores, Gucci. We're looking at, just a lot of these high end retail stores, even down to like a Macy's. They're going to come up with a digital way for us to be able to try on clothing. And so, not to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I said COVID hit right at the right time where people are moving more into a digital age where everything that we do and see is on screen. And so this idea of us going into like a brick and mortar building and actually sitting at our cubicles is not going to happen anymore. The furniture and things that we have in our house are going to be very streamlined, very, very, very modern, so that we can have these hologram kind of digital things in our world, and it's gonna happen.
Jules, I mean, can
I
we hit
know.
reset? Can we hit reset? I'm just getting used to the regular world, my friend. Okay. The regular in-person world. This is beyond my understanding. Because then I start thinking about things like community organizing and, pushing certain things forward. Does this change the game with all of that? Because now we're just able to create new rules in this metaverse that don't actually mimic the universe, right? They're not the same as the physical world. This is where my mind goes. I start really going down a rabbit hole with it because I'm like, it really opens up so many different opportunities, Jules. And I got to tell you, I'm still, it's going to take me a while. I need a guide. I need a trainer to understand some of this stuff, because honestly, I'm still like, this, like I said to Mike, this is mimicking what I've been seeing in TV shows, in movies. I mean, you're talking about something like, it just takes me to Black Mirror. It was 15 million credits and they're on bikes basically, but it's because they're building up their credits to live in this like digiverse thing. I'm just telling you, my mind is kind of blown that the fact that in our generation, we're seeing so many things. Now, it was the birth of the internet, really, when we were younger. And it was like, I didn't have it when I was a young person, like elementary school age. It didn't really come into play until high school for me. And now it's like, it's beyond that, because then you had stuff like Facebook and Instagram, this social media, which is already leaning us toward living in a digitized way. Everybody's trying to do what they can to get more likes and more followers and more this and more that. And I'm like, what about just regular friends in the real world, right? That stuff started to become less and less because everybody's spending so much time in this social media world. So this only seems like the next level up. And you're right. It was probably very naturally that it was going to get to this place, but it's still, funny to kind of wrap your head around all it. I'm telling you.
You make such a great point that we kind of lived in a hybrid, because we were, we watched the internet come to life, right? We were still thinking about computers and floppy disk and AOL dial-up, right? And having to figure out and navigate that. And then, with MySpace and Black Planet and those, really the first social media platforms, we understood what internet meant, but we also knew and understood the power of like physically being in the space with somebody and like having those interpersonal relationships and connections. And we are seeing a lot now, especially since COVID, with people being a lot more comfortable in a digital space. Hence, here we are using, like a Zoom technology, if you will, to help people understand that, to really podcast and stream. And a lot of our content, is more accessible. And that is what the metaverse is going to bring. And, when you talk about, is it going to change our thoughts and ideas on social action? Absolutely. Which is why bringing this Kanye West story is so much bigger than, diving into the tea and thinking about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's, divorce struggles, but really it's for us to identify, where does metaverse live in all of that, and how can we regulate, right? Where is the compliance and the oversight because now we're using this platform to spread messaging and it's getting to the masses. Kanye West has 15 million followers on Instagram. And I think Kim Kardashian has over like 100 million. So we're talking about a huge base, a huge platform, and the metaverse being responsible. And so that is why it's super important for them to have policies and procedures set in place that protect viewers and the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I can't let you go without at least touching a little bit on this Texas law. I mean, we have been talking about how things have been really rolling back. We've talked about that with voter suppression and all of the restrictions that we saw coming through the South. Now we have something that is really, it feels like that's going back too far back, Jules. I mean, I'm glad you guys are going to be talking about this because honestly, you know, there's been a lot of progression in terms of women being able to identify that it is their choice, right? And if you're in a married couple, it's like, okay, you're going to consult your husband. You guys have this, you know, this condition where you're like, look, I don't know if now is the right time. All of that has been a choice. And with the birth of, you know, abortion in general, now we have this talking about the death penalty. I'm sorry, I just had to tap on that as we're thinking about, you know, what it looks like in terms of protections. And I'm wondering what Texas is even thinking about to say, like, this is something that's so severe, we need to now maybe be punishing it by something as severe as possible.
Can you imagine that? I mean, listen, Trey Holiday, you're not going to have us give the whole show on the morning update so that people don't come and watch Clapback. But the law right now currently in Texas for abortion is that it's illegal to have an abortion once a fetal heartbeat can be detected. And we do understand that that's usually between 5 and 7 weeks. And oftentimes women don't even detect that they are pregnant until 5 to 7 weeks. And so there's this new law that is, you know, being pushed out there for women to be subjected to the death penalty and doctors that are actually implementing the actual procedure. So we will dive way deeper in tonight's show on Clapback Culture.
Yes, 7 p.m. Jules, thank you so much. Let the folks know where they can find you.
You guys can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Treasure of JULES. You guys see it right there below. And also tonight, Clapback Culture, 7 p.m. on all Converge platforms.
Jules, as always, thank you so much for giving us so much detail. I'm telling you guys, the show is phenomenal. Thanks for all you do, Jules.
Thanks for having me. So glad I got to come and spend time with y'all. I love the morning update show.
We love you. See you next time.
All right. Have a good one.
Oh my goodness, you guys, I'm telling you, Clapback is a whole nother set of topics than we're able to dive into here. So as Jules said, please check out Clapback tonight, 7 p.m., anywhere you're watching the morning update show. And after this short break, I get to dive in with director Chappelle is in the building. We're going to be talking about all things going on at DEEL, particularly this new preschool program. Stay tuned after this short break. You're watching the morning update show.
Hi, this is Robert Battle, Artistic Director of the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater, and we're thrilled to be performing live on stage again. Come see the extraordinary Ailey dancers during my 10th anniversary season and enjoy some wonderful new work, plus returning audience favorites, including Revelation.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. I'm your host, Trey Holiday, and joining me right now is Director Dwane Chappelle from DEEL. Thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you, Trey. Thank you for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, this is your first time in the Black Media Matter Studios.
It is. Last time we were virtual, so now I get a chance to come in and see where the magic happens at.
Yeah. Well, we welcome you. Warm welcome here. And you're always welcome here.
Yes.
Anytime. But we've been keeping our communications with you wide open because you guys are always doing some great work over there at DEEL. And, we have a couple clips later on that we'll share, but tell us about some of this background, because it takes a lot of hard work to get preschool now throughout Seattle. Tell us about that work.
It does. It takes a lot of work to make sure preschool is happening in Seattle. That's why I'm excited to be here, because of just our applications open up now. The Seattle preschool program, we're accepting applications for our scholars here in Seattle. And what Seattle preschool program is, basically it's high quality early learning for 3 and 4 year olds, and it's about access. For predominantly, it's for the most part it's free, and even some of those families who have higher incomes, there is a sliding scale for those families. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that each and every one of our 3 and 4 year olds have access to high quality preschool here in Seattle.
The thing is that you're saying high quality, and I know you mean it. I dealt with a preschool program ECAP, right, in South King County for my sons, right? So both of my sons kind of went through the ECAP program, and I was a student with my first son, and then I was just kind of getting on track for my second son, and so we got to experience some free care. It didn't mean it was high quality though, and I think that's so important when we talk about really closing these gaps in education, because it really starts at the beginning. And my second son in particular really dealt with, this white teacher that just did not understand. He learned different. He didn't need an IEP, but that's where they went with it, right? Was, the direct IEP. And it was like when he got with his other teacher who had way more of a multicultural background, she understood even more so. And sometimes it's about the quality of the teacher. And so how have you guys been able to ensure that these, preschool settings are really bringing those kinds of quality teachers into the play?
Well, I'll start off by saying that first, equity is at the front of everything that we do. And as you're talking about high quality, I'm talking from everything from professional development, support for our staff, our teachers that are in there, because the teachers are the ones really are the gatekeepers that's doing amazing work. And we want to make sure we support them as best as possible. Excuse me. But you also just mentioned something that I wanted to share, was that just thinking about it from a culturally responsive perspective. Right now, we're expanding to 7 new sites this year. And within those within that expansion, we're actually going to have our first Somali English class. We already have Chinese, we have Vietnamese, we have Spanish, we have American Sign Language, French. So we want to be as responsive as possible for our families, because as you mentioned, high quality is the best, and providing our 3 and 4 year olds with that access to high quality early learning or preschool. It's only going to help them have a stronger academic foundation from the beginning. And research is not only supporting that when our 3 and 4 year olds participate in early learning, that they have academically stronger longevity, but it's also going to help them with their life outcomes as well. So that is very, very important for us.
And rightfully so, because, every time we talk to you, you're talking about the impact for families, right? It's not just about the scholars. It's not just about administration or the instructors and the teachers. It's about the family as a whole. And we do know that there are some direct needs for families that can be met in an educational setting. And so I love that you do that. We also have a clip, because Beacon Hill, it looks like they've opened their doors. Let's go ahead and roll this clip.
Welcome to our Beacon Hill location. location. My name is Heidi Jensen, and I'm the supervisor here at this site. We are located in the beautiful Beacon Hill neighborhood, very close to Jefferson Park. Many of our families live in the neighborhood. We can participate in the community here, and it's a great site to be at.
Oh, it just warms my heart seeing the young ones and really being in this multicultural setting, which is a great example of our country and the world. You know, we had Dr. Nichols on the other day. And one of the things that he said that really stuck with me was that America has all of these world cultures here, and we literally represent the world. And so we have the opportunity to learn from all of those cultures and do multicultural teamwork that allows us to be that much more creative. So how have you guys really felt that you've been able to do that kind of multicultural, like you're talking about the languages, but it's also reflective in staff. And I think that that's so important when young people see leaders in institutions that look like them. You know, you're talking about equity here. What does that look like through the application process?
Yeah, so that's a great question. And so just think about this. We've been doing Seattle preschool program. This is our 8th year doing the Seattle preschool program, and over 77% of our students in the Seattle preschool program are BIPOC students. And it's just so rewarding to see like these brilliant faces. I was just watching a video with Beacon Hill, the Seattle preschool program up on Beacon Hill at Denise Louis. And the other day, I had the privilege of being at one of the sites, and the Mayor Harrell was there, and just showing his excitement and his vision for One Seattle, making sure that each and every one of our scholars in the Seattle preschool program has access to high quality early learning. And the sentiment that I heard from him and I felt in his vibe about loving our scholars has really been something that we have wrapped around with the Seattle preschool program. And I say that because equity is at the forefront of everything. We have to make sure that our early learning 3 and 4 year olds have a great start at the beginning, because we know what that will do for their life trajectory. You know, there's something that for the Seattle public schools, there are 77% of the of students in Seattle public schools that's coming from the Seattle preschool program are kindergarten ready, and so we have 1/3 of our Black students are coming in at 10% higher than their cohorts. And so it's just an amazing opportunity right now for our scholars, and we want our families to take advantage of it, because we know that this is One Seattle, that One Seattle vision. All of our families need to access high quality early learning.
Yeah, all of our and this right here is, I think, a great intentional effort to close that educational gap. I mean, when we talk about numbers tell us what's really going on in our world, and so much of it is stark data that you get to learn from. But then you go, okay, well, where do we fill these gaps? How do we understand, specific metrics that we need to now be looking at even more closely to now create solutions around that? So you guys have really done that. But you not only have done it with the preschool program, I got to ask you about the Seattle Promise. I mean, again, this is something, as I have a child who's about to be a junior next year, right, in high school. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I told him, I said, it gets real serious once you become a junior, because so many different things open up in terms of opportunity to connect at the collegiate level. So tell us about how, give us an update on Seattle Promise, how it's going.
Lots of excitement around around the Seattle Promise as well. So Seattle Promise is pretty much free for all Seattle Public High School seniors that graduate from a Seattle Public School. They have access to the Seattle Promise. They can get 2 free years of tuition, and it's so exciting because the deadline just closed March 1st for the Seattle Promise scholars. We've seen high numbers of increased students applying and being accepted. But the bigger piece is that throughout this pandemic, our scholars took advantage of the necessary support, and they actually persisted at higher national rates than other college promise programs happening in the nation. And we're excited about that. There's an opportunity for our scholars, like we have equity scholarships embedded within the Seattle Promise, and that's ultimately and I saw earlier the commercial about the scholarship. Yeah. And when we look at the equity scholarship, what we're trying to do is make sure that for those students who need more, that they get more, and that there's an opportunity for them to have some additional resources to support, whether it's books, whether it's childcare or whatnot. And at the end of the day, we just want to eliminate any barriers that our young kings and queens are having, so they can persist or complete a two-year degree or credential, or even transfer somewhere. And it's something a couple of days ago, I don't know if it was this week or last week, you just have me thinking about is you all were at Renton Technical Institute, right? And that's just something what I think about is like, wouldn't it just be great to have a scholar start off in the Seattle preschool program and then get support through K-12, go into the Seattle Promise, and then from there they have opportunities from either transferring to UW, Howard, Grambling, or wherever, or obtaining some type of degree or credential, as you all were highlighting.
Yeah, you know what? That's exactly why I love being on this side of it, to be able to showcase the opportunities. And as a mother of 2 young men, right? For me, I'm like, one day you're going to be grown men, and you're going to have to look at everything that you do that helps you either further yourself or things that you do that hold yourself back. And it's so important that they understand the realm of opportunity. And, for me, I was just such a young, active student, man. I was, vice president of the school. I was president of the National Society of Black Engineers. I was president of a theater troupe. I was just like everywhere, like I am now, right? I mean, it really, and I told my son, I said, high school years are formidable years because they help you establish your study habits, social habits. You already have this friend group that you've grown up with, but really you guys can hold each other accountable in that friend group. I mean, he's been on the same AAU team since 2nd grade. And so he's like, Mom, those are not my friends. Those are my brothers. And they really carry each other forward. They're checking each other's grades. They're holding each other accountable. I said, that's exactly what you need to help you further yourself in life. And so I love that this Seattle Promise gives that leg up for these students that are really ready to take on the challenge of the 2-year and figure out what they want to do afterwards. And while we were at Renton Technical College, one of the things I appreciated so much was the passion of the people involved in the school. And I got you here, and I feel like every time it's been video linked. So this is so great that you're here because your passion shows through. Tell us about some of the reasons why you take this on, not just as a career or a job, but really centering the families. And for you, what pushed you through to say, man, this is how I'm going to make my mark?
That's a great question. And I'll just tell you, so this is, if my mom is watching this, she's probably going to be upset that I'm saying this, but this is like my mom's maybe 40th or 42nd year of teaching. And watching my mom as a kid push me, my dad pushed me, and watching her love for students and families and seeing how important that they said education is. And then just my lived experience and making sure that I did my best. I want to make sure that other people that look like me or even those that don't can see how important education is, because at the end of the day, we need to make sure, I feel like it's our duty, especially here in Seattle, to make sure that each and every kid has an opportunity to chase whatever dream it is that they want to chase. Before you arrived earlier, Solomon and I was just talking about, and he was telling me about his journey here. And he said that Solomon said that his family, his uncle moved here in the 70s. And we were talking about how his uncle communicated back to families was back then they would record a tape, you speak and you have a tape, you record yourself and you mail it back. And now we're into this metaverse, which you want to, we'll talk about the metaverse, but I say that to say that things have changed so much. And for me, it wouldn't be right that if I didn't take my best foot forward to make sure each and every kid had an opportunity to chase whatever dream it is that they want to do at the end of the day. So that's just what I'm committed to. It shows up in our work. It shows up in what research says about access to early learning. Access to early learning gives you that early academic foundation, and it's proven if you have that academic foundation, you'll be more successful in life. And we just want to make sure that that's happened from early learning, or should I say from preschool all the way through post-secondary. So our brilliant scholars can come up and start their own companies. They can do whatever it is that they have that they're passionate about. So this work, for me, it's not something that I learned about in the book. It's just something that's always been embedded within, how I grew up.
Well, it's so evident. It is so, and I got to tell you, it's also very refreshing because we also really deal with, and it's just real. I've seen it play out time and time again, where we talk about it in politics, right? And I see it in education. I see it in different sectors of our economy, but people taking on jobs because it's the title that they really need to further their career. And it's not so much about the job itself, and it's not so much about the impact that they have the ability to impart on their staff and on the institution as a whole, but it's really about this kind of climbing the ladder that is a bit superficial. And whether they are producing positive results or not, it's really about the next title up, the next title up. So I just really appreciate your authenticity with the role that you have. It's a huge, huge responsibility, for you. And really, you're taking it on with a great, great candor and a great, great lens, I think, and the aesthetic of how you move. And so, we hear nothing but great things about you. I talk to Dr. Mims all the time about our educational institution, and she raves about you as well. So it's just great to know that not only is a Black man doing something phenomenal for our students, but you're doing it with a passion that really shines through. And it's so appreciated. If nothing more, it's definitely appreciated. Make sure people know about this application. Where can they get it? It's open now for preschool. I want to make sure we put that out there. Somebody can put the clip back up about the application process.
Yeah. So
for
one, thank you for the accolades. And the reality is that I am just surrounded by many amazing individuals, from people who are processing grants and contracts, for the coaches that are working with our providers that are providing the services, to the amazing community-based organizations and our partners at Seattle Public Schools that's really providing the service that's second to none. So it's less about me, but thank you for that. And I just want to just share with the families that now is the time. Our applications are open. We need to make sure that you're taking advantage of applying for the Seattle preschool program. There it is on the screen right there. Is www.seattle.gov/apply. Please call us up. Get on the website. You can look at the visual map to find out where the nearest Seattle preschool facility is to you. And at the end of the day, we want to make sure that your child has the necessary access and opportunities to pursue whatever their dreams are. And they have to do it by stepping into the Seattle preschool program. And I wanted to just also say that, as our Mayor Harrell says, one vision for one Seattle. this is the first step, or the way that we're taking that one vision is making sure that each and every family has access to the Seattle preschool program.
We've talked about this One Seattle message, and it's going to take everybody. It really is. It's going to take a whole host of us to really dive in. It can't just be something that Mayor Harrell is doing with his administration alone. And when you talk about all of the people that are involved, thank you for shouting them out, because you're here really representing this entire cohort behind you and beside you that is doing this work along with you. And one thing I got to say before I let you go is I just love the fact, I'll be honest, it was not easy for me to get my HBCU credits transferred back into, Seattle colleges when I had to come back after Howard, or for there to be this easy transference. So shout out to everybody who worked on that to say, look, if you got your 2 years here, they're accepting those credits over there. We need more of our young Black scholars in particular to understand the benefit of HBCUs and to break down those barriers. So I have you here. I have to say a huge shout out, because I keep on trying to edge my son. I'm telling you, I'm going to have to take him on some tours, get him to understand, it's a different environment. And particularly here, when we grow up in Washington, where we're a small part of the population, I think it's important for them to understand that that's an option for them too. So a shout out for that as well.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for being with me and giving us a little bit more of your passion and sharing with us this opportunity for the preschool program. Applications are open. We appreciate you being here.
I appreciate the opportunity, and thank you for what you all do. We appreciate this platform, and it is an honor to be here and continue to do the great work that you're doing for the community.
Thank you so much. Director Chappelle said him and his wife be watching Black Love. I'm with it. I'm so with it. Thank you. Oh my goodness, you guys, after this short break, I'll be closing out the show. We got a couple of updates for you. Stay tuned. You're watching the Morning Update Show.
In the depths of Belize, the travelers come across the waters, harvesting with their hands, learning of resilience rooted deep in the lands. Culture thriving like a fire ablaze, sizzling with a pop and a chop, sharing its ways. Knowledge simmers and grinds into the hearts and minds, cutting away from the surface stories and colonial lies, boiling it down, breaking its shell as the truth pours out and gets plated collectively with love, spooned into bowls, feeding the soul. Garifuna, alive and strong at Palmetto Grove.
Damn, Echo, you're savage.
Big night, baby, eating that roof, Chris. Short temper, so you know I'm kinda ruthless. Bad pass, roll one, time to elevate. Yeah, part-time smoker when I medicate. Big step, a couple hoes up in the Dino. Fly 'em out to Vegas, couple just in the casino. Mean rep, I had to earn it, others buy it, money burning. I work harder, I deserve it. You a groupie, you a bird. I'm a
Welcome back, everybody, to the Morning Update Show. What an amazing show today. I want to give a huge shout out to our guest for today, Julia Jessie, always bringing the great things for Clapback. I'm telling you guys, this metaverse business, sorry that I keep on mentioning it, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. And of course, to Dr. Dwane, Chappelle, director, doing amazing things over there at DEEL. And we're just excited that, we have the relationship to be able to bring him on and share this preschool program, but also, this, consistent effort over there that, we talk about these gaps and we see the numbers and we see Seattle Public Schools, having certain issues around, our students from the Black community really taking advantage of these opportunities. And so I love hearing that there's so much intentionality from DEEL and Director Chappelle to ensure that our families understand about the access and these opportunities. Of course, you guys, tonight we got Clapback Culture at 7 p.m. right here, anywhere that you are watching the Morning Update Show. Make sure you guys tune in to Mike Davis and Julia Jessie giving you all things Clapback. We also have, a big shout out. We got to do this. I mean, Alvin Ailey, those tickets are on sale, you guys. They're coming here on the 26th and 27th of this month. You guys, please, Salman is putting the link in the comments. Click that link. Bring some of the people that you know and love to this show. It's an amazing family-friendly show. And, when they come here, they gotta see that Seattle love. They gotta see us pouring out and showing up in huge numbers. And so we want to keep telling you guys about this show. Please check it out. Thank you so much, Salman, for putting the link in the comments. Also, tonight, Black Love When We Met is going to be on deck at 8 p.m. tonight. We're going to have Latrice and Kenny in the building. Beautiful couple that I've known for so many years, and their story is phenomenal. So tune in to get those warm and fuzzies, and tune in to really just hear about another couple doing phenomenal things together. I really am so inspired by this series. You have an idea and Omari's like, man, let's do it. And I just love that we have Converge Media in this Black Media Matters Studios where we get to actualize our ideas. So just so much loving that. We also got The Factors TV at 9 p.m. Our brothers Ronald and Ronell always bringing you different topics. It's a great thing because we are hitting you guys with a lot of different major news topics, but also community news, keeping it local and international. So I just thank the brothers for their dedication to The Factors TV. That will be tonight at 9 p.m. And then, of course, tomorrow, me and Salman will be back here in the building for Feel Good Friday. We have Jim Buchanan who's going to be joining us, and I'm trying to make sure Naima Clark can make it on her schedule. Want to hear about what's going on in the legislative session with Jim Buchanan. He's been a heavy person out there hitting hard for these equity work in around cannabis, and we keep talking about it, but there was so much back and forth, and it was leaders like Jim and others who really pressed the legislature to do something different. So we want to give Jim a huge shout out, and I'm glad that he'll be able to join us tomorrow and tell us more about that. And then Nurturing Roots has some amazing things going on, and so I'm willing that Naima can make it work with her schedule to join us as well tomorrow. You guys, as always, we just appreciate you guys for watching. Thank you to everyone who supports us right here at Converge Media. We appreciate you all. And for me, see yourself as a part of the solution if you can, right? If you have that ability to step outside of your doors and do something positive for this world, please do it. We're going to be so much better for it. Be inspired by people like Director Chappelle who are saying, look, my mother has been a teacher for all these years. I got to see her love and her passion, and it inspired him and fueled him to do something about it. I hope that you guys can be inspired and fueled yourself to do something to make this world even better. And as Omari would say, go forward in your purpose, go forward in your humanity. Until tomorrow at 11 a.m. Peace.
What do I see through a lens of fear? 1,000 little steps to go. What do I fear after all these years? Lord knows I don't even know. I've been running on the edge of a sundial, sleeping in the shadow. I've been begging you to see me, then hiding beyond the unreachable. Looking out left on a right-hand turn, just trying to make a That's how you can feel it's real. But I feel naked in my new clothes, 'cause I got used to hiding the holes. This whole world got new tricks and I'm in the thick of it. This I swear I'm already sick of it. At least I found the antidote. Oh, I know no one is a shadow. 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 No one is a shadow. But I feel naked in my new clothes, 'cause I got you.